I'd like to present to you everybody Graham, my best man, who's going to say a few words and hopefully make you laugh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I seem a little bit red and flushed. I'm not nervous at all, honestly. I hope you all enjoyed your dinners. First of all, I'd like to start by welcoming and thanking everybody for making the effort to share this special day with Rob and Ellie. You all look amazing, but none more so than our bride, Ellie, who I'm sure you'll all agree looks absolutely stunning. I can't tell you, Ellie, when Rob first set eyes on you today, he was absolutely blown away. Then, of course, we've got Rob. Well, bless him, he tried. I must admit, when Rob first asked me, just over a year ago, at another friend's wedding, to perform the duty of best man, I was a little bit taken aback. We've not grown up as boyhood friends, and a lot of people would probably say we still haven't grown up. However, I got to thinking and realised we've now been pals for 15 years, and of course I accepted. Once I got over the initial shock and thought about what a great honour it was to be asked, it was clear for me that the best man's speech was going to be the toughest part of today. So I had to prepare and wanted to do the job justice. I decided to do some research, so I turned to the internet. My aim was to research for information on the responsibilities of the best man, along with some hints and tips for the speech. But as most people in the room will know, when you get locked in the world of the internet, it's very easy to get sidetracked. And I'm referring to Facebook, Twitter and eBay, obviously. After many fun-filled hours of sidetracking, my research finally turned up some interesting ideas about the length and content of a best man speech. But there was one that stuck out, and I quote, "A best man speech should be like a miniskirt, short enough to grab everybody's attention, but long enough to cover the essentials." Taking this on board, I decided to adopt the short but to the point approach. Bear with me a second. And as I'm a fan of the miniskirt, this is what we've done. And as an added bonus, left me much time for drinking. After a little bit more research, I found out that as well as the speech, it would seem there were two main duties that I had to perform as your best man, Robert. First was to get you to the church on time by making sure you had a good night's sleep the night before the wedding. Well, people, let me assure you, he had a fantastic night's sleep. He slept like a baby. He only wet the bed twice. The second was to get him there looking presentable, with face and hair immaculately groomed. Well, God let him down on the latter, so what chance did I have? Thinking back, the first time I met Rob, I was out to play a game of snooker and have a few pints with some friends of mine, and I was also to meet one of their friends, a friend of a friend if you like. Imagine my amazement walking through the snooker hall. I glanced, I double taked. Wow, how is Peter Ebdon in our local snooker? Even more amazing, this was who I was about to meet. However, it wasn't Peter Ebdon. It turned out to be a clone called Rob. And so began our friendship. Me and Rob haven't always seen eye to eye, maybe due to the fact that I stand about 5'2" in heels. But over the years, we've become great friends and spent much of our time being mischievous, foolish, and pretty much being practical jokers. An example of which, one night we decided to take it upon ourselves to cone off the entrance to a street, phone and hire half the local taxis, and sit back in hysterics at the madness and confusion that ensued. I must also say, the amount of times I woke up in the morning and found my house had been put up for sale was astounding. But
We used to do it every night.
it's true, we did. But one memory that still makes me smile was my very own stag do many years ago, when we thought it would be a great idea to commandeer a dinghy off the neighbouring guest house and set sail to the high seas at 3 a.m. in the morning. Obviously, this idea was born out of a lot of alcohol consumption. Thankfully, a few stern words from the guest house owner put paid to our dreams of being a life at sea. Who knows where shares we'd have washed up on. I'd like to say a couple of words about Rob and Ellie. When Rob first met Ellie, it would be fair to say he fell head over heels, and my first thoughts were, oh, here we go again. But when he confessed to me that she was the one, I knew he was smitten. Ellie's been a great influence on Rob over the years, and I've seen him start to mature into the loving, caring partner he is today. Now that you've found love with Ellie, I couldn't be happier for you both. It's fantastic that I've also come to know Ellie equally as well, and she's too become a wonderful friend. You're incredibly lucky, Rob, to have met such a beautiful, kind, thoughtful, intelligent and successful person. You complement each other magnificently, and I'm sure everyone will agree that you will have a very long, fulfilled and happy life together. Putting the icing on the cake, of course, was the arrival of William, a cheeky little chap that completes this great couple. And as a small token, just to show how happy I am about your getting together today, I'd like to present you with a bag of chocolate limes. Not because you both love sweeties, but to remind you and show you that the coming together of green and brown. I'm a first timer, by the way. As best man, I also have a couple of thank yous to say to part of the team of your friends that have helped make today possible. And if you'll allow me, I'd firstly again like to thank our ushers, Andy, Timmy, Michael, Omar and Jag. A great group of guys. Without being able to delegate half my work to, I'd have been stuck. Next, to our fantastic team of bridesmaids, Hayley, Emily, Stacey, Sarah and Laura. They've all worked hard to make this weekend a fantastic event, and I'm sure you'll agree with me that they look absolutely stunning today. But how could we forget our little page boy William and our flower girls Amy and Maisie, who just look too cute for words. I'd like to just take a second to read a couple of cards that have came in at random, picked by me. To Ellie and Rob, congratulations. All the best for the future. Love from Emma Mathers and family. Dear Ellie and Rob, have an amazing wedding. Congratulations. Lots of love, Jade and Mikey. To Ellie and Rob, on this very special day, lots of love, Mum. To bring things to a conclusion, I'd like to thank you all for your attention, and let me just say, if you've enjoyed listening to this speech as much as I've enjoyed making it, then all I can do is sincerely apologise. With that, there's just one last thing to do. I'd ask you all to be upstanding and raise your glasses in a toast to your bride and groom. Remember to live, to love, to laugh, to Rob and Ellie, to Mr. and Mrs. Brown. Well done, guys. Now please enjoy the rest of your evening.
No, not